Today, across Africa and around the world, it seems that new pastors are appearing everywhere, like rain falling suddenly, or even like a real flood. Everywhere you look, churches are opening, new signs go up, and men and women declare themselves apostles, prophets, doctors, or evangelists. Some have studied the Bible deeply, others have not. Some have a genuine calling, while others are simply looking for an opportunity or a way to get rich. Let's be honest, there are many false pastors today. And this is not a new problem. Even in the time of Jesus, there were false prophets and people who tried to deceive the crowds. But what is different today is how easy it is to set up a church, claim to be a spiritual leader, and gather a crowd, sometimes just by promising miracles, prosperity, or deliverance. This explosion of false pastors has dramatic consequences. First, it creates confusion. How can you tell the real servants of God from the impostors? Many people are disappointed, hurt, sometimes even ruined. They have given everything they had, hoping for a miracle. They put their trust in people who only abused their naivety or pain. But there is an even more serious consequence. Because of the actions of some, the reputation of the whole church is tarnished. When a pastor is caught in a scandal, stealing, lying, or abusing his followers, people talk not just about him, but about all churches. People start to say, all pastors are frauds, all churches are just businesses, there are no real men of God anymore. Everyone gets put in the same basket, and people forget that, quietly, there are still men and women serving God with humility, honesty, and devotion. Why does this happen? Partly because our times are obsessed with quick solutions. Many people want instant miracles, easy answers, prosperity without effort. False pastors know this. They promise wealth, healing, and solutions to all problems. They organize big gatherings, put on a show, shout, wave their arms, and sometimes manipulate people's emotions. But Jesus warned his disciples. Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. A good pastor is not the one who performs the most miracles, has the biggest church, or the fanciest car. It is the one who lives out the gospel every day, who loves others, who sacrifices for the least of these, and who speaks the truth even when it is uncomfortable. So how can you avoid falling into their trap? You need to learn discernment. Don't be impressed by appearances. A true servant of God doesn't need to force admiration or manipulate. He or she lives simply, transparently, putting Christ at the center, not themselves. Their teaching is based on the Bible, not their personal interests. They accept correction, they are accountable, and they don't isolate their followers from the rest of the world. If you go to a church and the pastor forbids you to see your family, ask questions, or read the Bible for yourself, be careful. If you see that everything revolves around the leader's image, wealth, or supposed miracles, be careful. Ask questions, pray, take a step back. God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of wisdom. It's also important not to throw all churches under the bus. Yes, there are fakes, but there are also true pastors. Those who visit the sick, help orphans, pray without ceasing for their flock, and live modestly, away from the spotlight. You might not see them on social media or in the news, but their impact is real and deep. Don't be discouraged by scandals. The church is, above all, a family, a community of faith, a place of sharing, love, and hope. The wounds caused by false pastors are serious, but they should not drive us away from God. On the contrary, they should encourage us to seek authenticity, truth, and the simplicity of the gospel. Everyone is responsible for protecting their faith. Read the Bible for yourself. Pray, talk to other believers, and ask questions. Don't accept everything you're told without thinking. Even the apostles were questioned by the first Christians. God is not afraid of our doubts or questions. In fact, He wants us to have a living, thoughtful faith. In conclusion, in this world where pastors seem to rain down like a flood, learn to choose with discernment. Don't get swept up by the crowd or dazzled by easy promises. Take time to watch, to listen, and to pray. Remember, what matters most is not the show or visible miracles, but love, truth, and faithfulness to God's word. Those who sincerely seek God will always find pastors after His own heart. Don't confuse everyone, don't judge too quickly, and above all, don't deprive yourself of Christian community because of the mistakes of a few. If this message spoke to you, share it with those around you. Maybe it will help someone open their eyes, avoid a disappointment, or regain trust in the Christian faith. God bless all those who serve with sincerity. And may He give discernment to those still seeking their way.